Hello, Internet. I'm KrissieDeathy, and welcome back to more recordings from my car. Unlike usual, we will not be doing a story time today, as while I have written 2 complete scripts down in my notebook, I do not have them typed up, and I don't feel like reading my own goddamn handwriting. But welcome in, everyone. Today we're gonna read a kind of like story bit that I wrote. Like, I began trying to write an original story, haven't really gotten much into it, so I'm gonna read what I did write and some of like the background of what I'm wanting this to be and all this and that. So thank you all for being here. I hope you're having a great time, and I hope you all enjoy the artwork that's going to play above this audio. So, this was written August 8th of this year, and what I'm calling the story at the moment, like its working title, is CatFish. What I wanted to do was write kind of like a cute little happy, wholesome, kind of silly thing story that featured a female couple, like an all-female couple, a lesbian couple, because I feel like most of the time when I see lesbian couples portrayed in a lot of the media, they're still kind of a little bit more fetishized than I would like, and I wanted to get something that was kind of like more cute and wholesome, that was a same-sex couple. I've written a couple of things with male couples, but never a lot with female couples, so I wanted to try that. So what I have is, because I also wanted a kind of twist, because it's not really a twist, I just wanted magical, mythical creatures, and I also wanted them to be like adults, because a lot of like the stuff I consume, the characters are actually in like high school, and I wanted to consume something that had 2 adult characters, so I decided to kind of make it, but I wanted it to be magical creatures. So one of them's a mermaid, and the other one I wanted to be a cat shifter kind of creature, and I was looking through mythical creatures that were kind of like cat creatures, because I didn't know like the exact name, and I found the Bake Neko on Google. Legit, it was through Google. They're a Japanese creature. They're a cat that's lived over 300 years, and they gain magical powers and eventually gain the ability to shapeshift into humans. So that's where this character is coming from, and I have several names written down for the Bake Neko, but I haven't really just cited on one, so I made her a character who's just like, I've been a cat for 300 years, I change my names anytime I feel like it doesn't really mean anything to me kind of person. They're mischievous, a snuggler, they have fire ability, they're century old, they are Japanese, so I have to make sure I convey that with the artwork for sure. And I made them in their cat form a tortoiseshell cat, because like I feel like pure black, pure white, they're very common in stories. Calicos are also really common. And I felt like a tortoiseshell would be cool, because tortoiseshells are known for having this thing called tortitude, and because I wanted the Bake Neko to be kind of mischievous and kind of sassy, I felt like that fit. For the mermaid's kind of like the cool, chill, relaxed one, and their art design, I'm going to base it off of the manatees. So that is the planned part at the moment, and we're going to just go ahead and read some of like the snippets that I started writing but didn't really complete, because, you know, life happens. So this is like the first one. I don't know what date I wrote this one. Probably the same date with the rest of these notes, which was August 8th. And it's like a really tiny paragraph. It's super tiny, y'all. The sparkle of fish scales caught Shimiko's attention. Work had been draining and she didn't have the funds for a good fish dinner. But since the fish with such nice scales was swimming in the river, Shimiko was sure it was a great catch. Shimiko, I've been saying ku, but that's a ko. That's an O. I'm so sorry. I need to pronounce names better. Shimiko ducked into a side alley. She scanned her eyes for cameras. They were everywhere nowadays, making it difficult for beings like her to get around. And that is legit it. And then I have one from the day after, which is kind of like the same scene, but written slightly different. And it is legit the same length. And it's from August 9th. Shimmy smirked as her eyes caught the glint of yummy fish scales. Luckily today, she was in her cat form. She stalked the edge as she got closer to the water. Shimmy didn't like to get wet, but she was hungry and didn't want to deal with those stupid mortals today. The fish was staying submerged. And that is all of that one, and we're just gonna go to the next section. She smiled at the cat that just stared at her. "Hello, kitty," she gave a nervous wave, her eyes shifting to look for mortals. She sighed in relief as she looked down at the tortoiseshell cat. "Would you mind not trying to eat me, please?" Which, this scene, I wanted that scene to be kind of like how they met kind of scene, which I'm still working on. And I know there's more that I wrote, but there's this long, like, over 12, 13 page fan fiction that I haven't finished in the way in between here that I've slowly typed up, I can see. But yeah, I'm hoping you guys are enjoying this as I scroll through a gajillion pages of fan fiction. Okay, here it is. And I wrote more notes. Like, the Bakineko likes to trick people. I have not decided the Bakineko's age. I just know it's 300 plus. And I have a list of random names they go by. And then the mermaid, whose name I just kind of like plucked out of a hat by going to like behind the name random name generator. And they're based off manatees, dugongs. Age is about 25 plus. Chill, laid-back person, welcoming, warm, naive / gullible. And then I wrote possible names: Sarah, Sausage, Gwen, Talu, and Talia. That makes sense. So I found that, and that was written on August 19th. So you guys can basically see how my story progression starts, because I'm definitely I start with a concept, and then I write kind of like how I feel, and just fly by. Sometimes, like, I'll do that, what do you call it, the roller coaster, beginning, your, starting action, and all that. For the story I kind of want to tell, I might just skip this whole beginning and start where they already know each other and then do a flashback. But I have not decided yet. But I found this part. So I'm going to read you something from the longer version, because my husband is not here, because he is still working and I have a couple of minutes. So thank you all for being here and being patient. This is a longer, like, first draft kind of version. It's like kind of how they met. I kind of like how it looks so far. Give me suggestions, what you guys think. I would love your feedback. You're all awesome. Toulouse stretched as she surfaced. Swimming felt great. It was a shame that swimming in the sea was harder where they currently lived. It was hard being a mermaid in a human rain world. Toulouse didn't like having to move so far inland for work, but who was going to believe she was a mermaid? Answer: 80% of humans. I don't understand what I meant by that sentence, but I need to change it to a lower percentage. Taloo dived into the pool again. The pool was smaller than the ocean, but at least she could swim. Sure, the pool was only 20 by 30 feet, but hey, anything is better than nothing. She could go back to the ocean to swim free whenever she felt like. Taloo jerked as she felt something sharp pierce her tail. She turned and pulled herself above the water. Her eyes locked onto the eyes of a cat. The cat had fluffy fur with patches of orange and white on its mostly black fur. The cat went stiff as its eyes bore into Taloo's brown ones. Taloo opened her mouth only for it to feel too dry. She closed her mouth, licked her lips before she spoke. Hey there, kitty. I'm not food. If you could be so kind to remove your teeth and claws. She winced in pain. I can get you some actual food if you want, she figured, offering. Okay. I did not type in a word here, so I got really confused with this sentence. She figured offering food was better than having to swing the small creature off. Its fur looked matted in spots, and she was sure under that wasn't a lot of meat. There was a long pause of silence between the two. The cat jumped back with a yelp. I'm so sorry, came the cry. Taloo blinked as she wasn't sure if she heard right, but the cat did speak a human language. Taloo morphed into her human legs as the cat hid underneath a chair. Hey, it's okay, she spoke in a soft, quiet voice. I'm sorry, the cat choked as it hid its face behind its paws. Taloo took note of several cuts and scrapes on the cat. Poor thing must have been caught and abused by humans. Taloo couldn't tell what kind of mythical or magical creature this cat was, but she knew they needed help. It's okay, Taloo reassured her. You must be very hungry, she held out her hands. The cat eyed her hands with apprehension. I just want to carry you inside and get you some food. The cat inched forward slowly to her hands before going limp in them. Taloo gave a sad smile. The cat was skinny, and she could feel their bones and sores. Taloo hoped her first aid kit was up to date. She held the cat close to her chest as she walked inside. She pulled a blanket off of her couch as she walked into the kitchen. She wrapped the cat in it as she placed her on the table. That should be them, as the cat is using it and they, them pronouns for this part. I will fix that later. For second draft, if I still decide to keep this whole version. Taloo turned to examine her fridge. She mostly ate veggies and fruits, but cats mainly eat meat, eggs, mushroom, cucumber. She frowned at the lack of appropriate options as she grabbed eggs and mushrooms. She juggled them in her arms as she flipped a pan onto her stovetop. She flicked the burner on as she put the items down on the table. She struggled with the top of the olive oil bottle before the top screwed loose. She poured a good amount into the heating pan. She dropped a handful of mushrooms in the pan to saute. Once the mushrooms reached a good point, she cracked in 2 eggs and grabbed a spatula to scramble them. Scrambled eggs do cook faster than regularly fried eggs. Within a few minutes, Taloo presented the cat with a plate of scrambled eggs with mushrooms cooked in it. Be careful, it's hot, she stated as she slid the plate in front of the cat. The cat leaned forward to sniff the plate. Taloo busied herself with cleaning up and checking the cabinets for more possible food options to give the cat. She pulled out a can of chicken soup. It had a layer of dust on it, and she couldn't recall ever buying it. She flipped it in her hands to check the date. It expired forever ago. Taloo rolled her eyes as she dropped the can into the trash. She wiped the dust grime off of her hands. She glanced at the cat slowly nibbling away. First aid kit. Taloo walked with purpose to the bathroom. She pulled the first aid kit from the shelf and returned to the kitchen. She smiled upon seeing the cat nibbling away with a livelier tone. I brought the first aid kit, she stated as she gently put the thick plastic red box on the table. She clicked it open and pulled out several items. My name is Taloo. What's yours? I've had several names, the cat mothered. They thought for a long moment. What do I want to be called now? The cats thought as they slowly chewed. Sumiko or Sephi, they stated. Those names are lovely, Tolu beamed. Those are feminine names. What are your pronouns? Tolu made small talk as she tended to Sumiko/Sephi's injuries. I identify as a girl, Sumiko nodded, but I don't mind they/them pronouns. Tolu nodded. What kind of foods do you prefer? I'll buy you some when I go shopping next. You don't need to do that, Sumiko stated. This is already more than enough. Tolu made a tisking sound. Nonsense! You're so thin! Covered in sores, cuts, and mats, Tolu felt her anger rise. She took a deep breath to ground herself. Tolu placed a firm hand on Sumiko's paw. Stay with me until you're on your feet. I'm a mermaid. While I'm not sure what species you are, I do know that humans suck and it's run by them. Let's help each other when we can. You deserve kindness. Tolu ended with a smile. Sumiko could only stare at Tolu. She didn't know much about mermaids, but each culture was different depending on the group. But Tolu had been so calm. Sumiko didn't like her anger, but it oddly felt nice that someone would be mad on her behalf. Sumiko couldn't remember the last time that had happened. Once a basic patch-up was done, Tolu showed Sumiko around the house. She covered the guest room bed with blankets and pillows. Tolu made sure Sumiko was comfortable in bed before she went to get the entertainment system. Sumiko chuckled as she watched Tolu push in a cart with an old small TV monitor and PC tower on it. And I absolutely love how I kind of imagined this scene and this whole setup. And hopefully I was able to write it in a way that conveys the setup. Tolu plugged in the tower and turned on the TV. She popped batteries into the wireless keyboard and fancy mouse with a large shiny red ball on it. She slid them close to Sumiko. I don't have cable, but I have good internet, Tolu beamed. I haven't seen such an old TV in a while, Sumiko mused. It even has knobs, a laugh escaped from her. And I've modified it to connect to the PC, which has Wi-Fi, Tolu smiled. This ball on the mouse moves the cursor. She gestured to the giant shiny red ball on the mouse. I'm going to the store to get food, and maybe some other things you need. Do you have a soap shampoo preference? Sumiko thought for a moment. I like the scent of cucumber. Tolu nodded as she made a note on her cell. She paused as she turned to the door. She opened the ottoman and pulled out a box of snack cakes. I store junk food here. Eat as much as you like. She placed the box of Little Debbie snack cakes on the bed. I'll be back in 2 hours. Help yourself to anything while I'm gone. Sumiko carefully moved the mouse to open the web browser. She smiled at the magical girl wand cursor. She examined the bookmark bar for a streaming service. She clicked one she recognized and smiled as it was already logged in. She selected an older anime and pressed play. The music was bubbly and happy. Pure serotonin. Sumiko needed that. Tolu put on an earbud in as she got out of her car. Grocery stores were oddly loud and felt I think I missed a sentence because I wrote grocery stores are oddly loud and felt one on her phone. I don't know what I was trying to say in this sentence. I will fix it later. Sumiko needed food that would provide nutrients, but also be something she would happily eat. After all, food that's good for you means nothing if you won't eat it. Tolu compared the cuts of chicken, trying to figure out which would be the best texture-wise. After all, Sumiko was probably too injured to chew large pieces or tough meat. She bobbed her head to the music as she read the facts on the labels. What she liked, she put in the cart. What she didn't want, she put back on the shelf. Tolu sang softly as she unlocked the door. She carried the bags into the kitchen and hummed as she put them away. Her ears perked up as she heard a familiar tune. She loved that show. Sure, it was technically aimed for young school children, but it was pure joy. She sang along to the song as she carried the bag of bathroom supplies to the guest room Sumiko was in. She paused in her singing as she knocked on the door. Sumiko, I just got back. Can I come in? Coming, the door opened softly. Large eyes on a 4'10" human body frame greeted her. Choppy strands of black hair framed her face. One eye was a bright, shiny yellow, and the other a pale jade color. You have a human form too, Toulouse smiled. We'll have to get you clothes. Sumiko glanced down as she fiddled with her fingers, her cat ears on her head shifting to lay against her head, her tail curling against her body. I'm glad you're feeling well enough to take this form, but don't push yourself. Sumiko nodded. I got ice cream if you want a treat to celebrate. Sumiko giggled. I kind of ate a lot of snack cake, she gestured to the small trash can full of wrappers. Toulouse laughed. That's good. You need food. Do you want to take a shower while I get you some clothes? Sumiko nodded before turning off the TV and PC tower. Toulouse led Sumiko to the bathroom. She headed to her bedroom. Toulouse was 6 foot and Sumiko was 4'10", so all of her clothes were sure to be too big for her. She pulled out a pair of pants with drawstrings. She skimmed over large shirts in a drawer. She landed on a shirt with a pattern based on video games. Once Sumiko was feeling better, hopefully tomorrow, she would take her clothes shopping. Toulouse wondered what Sumiko's clothing taste would be. Toulouse giggled at the image of Sumiko in several different styles. Sumiko! Toulouse sang as she knocked on the door to the bathroom. There was a strong scent of soap and a soft scent of cucumber. I bought you some clothes! Not bought, brought. I cannot read. Thank you, Sumiko smiled as she opened the door. Her body was wrapped in an oversized towel. No problem, Toulouse handed her the clothes. If you're feeling better tomorrow, we can go get you clothes. That would be nice. Thank you, Sumiko gave a soft smile. And then I'm going to cut this off before the next scene that I wrote because we're at 20 minutes. And I don't know how much dead time I'm going to wind up cutting out of this or not. But thank you all for being here, for watching, liking, commenting, doing all the things to help my algorithm grow. Also, I opened and set up memberships the other day. So if you guys want to join the membership program, I believe I picked the $3 price point, and I only have one membership. It gives you access to some members only community posts. You'll definitely be the first person I reply to when replying to comments and all that good stuff. And depending on how well the memberships go, I might do a monthly members only live stream if I can set that up. But yeah, all that good stuff. I hope you enjoyed this. This is like a little pet project I'm slowly hoping I'm wanting to work on, write more for it, all that good stuff. So I would absolutely love to hear all your opinions. But for now, I'm going to end this recording before my husband gets off work. And so I can edit this and have it done because I'm recording this on the 21st. And I need to have it done by tomorrow and up for you guys to see. So once again, thank you very much to my lovely Patreon Ko-fi supporters, Dymond and Micah. Hopefully when memberships come in, if anyone signs up for that, I can also read your name at the end of the credits. That would be absolutely awesome for me. So have a lovely day. Stay hydrated. Thank you for all the liking, commenting, subscribing, just being here and watching, sharing with your friends if you want to. Have a lovely day and all that good stuff. Stay hydrated. Bye-bye.